to the cinematics team for helping us do this, and real special thanks to Arjun Prakash and Chase Levin for helping us film that.
So I think we still have a few minutes if you guys have any questions. We're going to be taking a couple of questions. Do we have time?
Hold this for 1 second, please.
And everybody?
And we're done.
Hey, they're going to ask questions. 1 second.
Oh, just a line.
Frozen.
Did a good job.
Am I good to go whenever?
Yep.
Okay. My daughter has been drawing since she was 2 years old. Now she's 12. She's an incredible artist, and the only want she has in life is to become a Blizzard employee and artist. What would your advice be to have an artist, go through in college to get where you guys are?
That's a noble goal for sure. My advice, and you guys feel free to disagree with me on this one, but I really don't think that, man, this is going to sound bad, but I really don't think that college, what school you go to, really matters that much. The things that we look for are talent, obviously, first and foremost. Passion and personality probably come in second, and it's hard to choose which one of those goes over the other. But if she's really focused on coming to Blizzard and working on a Blizzard game, then it really just comes down to know the style. Like, have her play these games, have her draw it. Like, I think, most of our artists learned from just drawing things that they liked and things that they were into, and then got to a point where they did it for a living. So if you're a fan, then that's probably good. Just keep her on that track, and she should be good to go.
Okay, so first of all, thanks. All of the art that is involved in these games has always been a huge inspiration for anybody that likes to actually do anything in type of art. I have a little more specific on the actual portfolios. For somebody who's interested in concept art and trying to get into that industry, if you guys like to see things that are original in themselves but can obviously fit into the worlds that already exist, or if you guys like to see more of replication to show that we understand that theme.
Definitely a combination of the two. It's important to show that you have an understanding for the style, but it's also, everyone that we bring in, we want to bring in people that have a unique look at what we're doing and can bring something different to and develop our style. It's also very important, and a lot of people overlook the fact that this concept art is going to need to be used to create three-dimensional art. So having an understanding of three-dimensional art when you're concepting is very important. And while you may not have to be a modeler or a texture artist necessarily, learning that skill and being able to take your concepts into that space is important, and will show us that you understand when you're thinking of these things how they're actually going to play out when we build them and texture them. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, it does. Thank you.
Hi. So there's been some talk on the forums and even some response from the Blues that the art team was going to take a graphical upgrade on the vanilla playable races, as far as redoing the humans, redoing the trolls, the texture upgrade, poly count. And I know that wasn't going to make launch of Cataclysm, but I heard that it was in the works. Could you give us an update on that?
Sure. I completely agree. I think we all agree that our player characters are one of the things that's most behind as far as updating goes. So we do have plans to do it. When exactly that's going to happen, I can't tell you. And actually, I don't know. But we're actually in progress on reconcepting some of that stuff, some of the player characters, and definitely feel like we want to roll it out sooner than later so that everything feels consistent in the world.
We have time for about 1 or 2 more questions.
Hi. I love what you've been doing with the changes in Orgrimmar, having it transition to the new forms, and even the damage that you've done now with Stormwind. And I'm wondering now, since these models are in the system, and so you have the ability to change them more easily than this whole project, say for the next expansion, would we see a further upgrade where Orgrimmar would be completed and Stormwind would be repaired now that the whole Deathwing story is over at that point?
Wendy, do you want to answer that one?
Sure, I can answer that. We do have plans, because we're able to patch up new artwork. You will see kind of a progression of that. And, as new stories come across, who knows, they might get destroyed again. So you never know.
Okay, so I have a mini pet question. If you're ever going to make like a mini Zealot that can have a 3-way fight with Grunty and the Zergling.
Sure. Yeah. I don't know. We don't have plans for it, but that's cool. That's a cool idea.
Thank you again for all the art that you've done. It's fantastic. I just want another round of applause because it's awesome.
Thank you.
Quick
Artists
question.
are in the audience, so thank them. It's them.
I don't know if it was brought up a while ago, but there's kind of these iconic things that different character classes wear, such as, you've got the druid with the horns, paladins with their librams. I know that librams were changed and relics were changed and all that stuff in a recent patch. Was it ever going to be introduced where like paladins could actually have that book? Like every race of every paladin would have that book and it would be used, or because you have the item, but you don't see it.
Yeah,
So-
totally. Yeah, we are. One of the things that I want to focus on coming up in the future is not only just that, but also what we do with our armor sets, because I think that's, along with player characters, that's getting a little tired. So we definitely want to approach those things at the same time, like make sure that all of our armor sets are feeling very distinct and updated, but that we're also incorporating things like totems and librams so that it feels specific to your class, and you get this item and it's actually on your character, you can see it, and it doesn't just feel like an icon in your bar or whatever. So yes.
Yeah.
That's all that we have. Thank you for attending the World of Warcraft art panel. Coming up next on this stage at 4:30.